Okay, today we're going to be talking about why you can't lose weight. There's three main reasons why you're not able to do so. So if you've ever struggled with weight, maybe you've lost a few pounds but you've gained it all back in a couple months, or you're just starting out and you don't really know exactly where to start, this video is going to be for you. So to start off, we got the three main reasons. Reason number one, we're going to look into calories. Then we're going to talk about your workouts, and then accountability, which is the main reason you're not able to stick to it. So to start off, calories. The one of the reasons that you're not actually able to lose the weight is you just don't know how many calories are actually in the foods you're eating. So calories is the amount of energy that's in the food and that you're able to absorb, and that's going to be stored on you as fat or glycogen, like we talked about in the other video. So when you eat food, a lot of the times you're just not aware of how much it actually is. Like at McDonald's or something, you're just eating your food, you don't really care at the end of the day. But in reality, it matters how much stuff actually is. And when I was talking to some friends and they were eating some they were eating some bakery treats, and they just weren't aware of how much it actually was. Like some of them are closer to 500, and they're like, holy shit, that is like a third of what I'm supposed to eat for the day, and I just ate that in 2 seconds. So once you figure out how much stuff actually is, it becomes so much easier to track the calories and to lose the weight. So one of the easiest ways to actually find out how much is in the food you're eating is to just Google it, or ChatGPT. Straight up, just pop it into Google, say how much is one whole egg, how much is a piece of bread, and it'll tell you, oh, it's this much per 100 grams, or it's this much, and whatnot. And if you care about being as accurate as possible, you'll pull out a cute little weigh scale that you can buy off Amazon for like $5. And you can put it on and it'll tell you, oh, you have this many grams and it's this much per 100 grams. Some simple math, and you pop out with a calorie number. And that'll get you used to the portion sizes, like how much the food actually is, to get you the most accurate number. But in reality, you don't even have to do that, because all the foods you're going to eat, they'll have nutrition labels. Like, for example, this nutrition label, and it'll tell you it's this many calories per whatever, like per whatever this is, like 355 meals or something. So like cereal, like anything else, it's going to tell you per grams or per whatever. And you're just going to look at that. You're going to look at the calories and you're going to write that down and just go, okay, keep in mind this piece of volume is this many calories. So that'll get you used to portion sizes and how many calories you're actually eating. Now, the second thing is that you don't actually know how much to eat. So great, now you know how many calories are in all the foods, but how much am I supposed to eat at the end of the day? So you're supposed to eat the amount of food to maintain your weight, is the amount of food where your weight doesn't go up or doesn't go down. So after tracking calories for a little bit, you can analyze your weight. You're going to track your weight and your calories. Those are the two numbers we're going to be tracking. And if you're eating, you find out maybe you're eating 2,000 calories a day. Oh, my weight didn't go up this week. 2,000 calories is your maintenance. Now we got to go under that. Maybe we'll go under to 1,500 or 1,700 calories. And then the next week, how much do we lose? Do we lose weight or no? And if we lost weight, great. We're on track. We can keep lowering the calorie number just enough so we consistently lose weight. And if you want to be really aggressive with weight loss, you can lose like 2 pounds a week, or you can lose a pound a week. Either way is fine. One of them is going to be a lot harder, a lot more aggressive, and one of them is going to be a lot easier. It just depends how quickly you want to get to the goal, how quickly you want to see results. Both are perfectly fine and sustainable. One is just a lot easier because the difference in calories between your maintenance and how much you're eating is going to be a lot greater when you're a lot more aggressive with it. And you'll probably feel a little bit hungrier, a little bit lower energy, but at the end of the day, that's the only way to actually lose the weight. You're going to feel hungry, you're going to feel low energy, but if we want to lose the weight, we're going to have to go through the difficult process of feeling tired, feeling lethargic, because at the end of the day, in order to get results, we got to start burning the fat. And the only way to burn fat is to be in a deficit so your body actually uses that energy. And then So now that we know how many calories to eat, just by looking at your weight and looking at how many calories you're actually eating, and then playing with those two numbers. Oh, my weight went up, let's reduce the calories. Weight's going down, good, we can maintain the same until weight doesn't go down anymore, then we reduce calories. That's the way you're gonna know how much to actually eat. And you can get a basic number by going to some online calculator and typing in your height and weight and your activity level, and it'll spit out a number and say like you should be eating this many calories, 2,500 calories or 2,000 calories. But just for the general person, I recommend start out with around 2,000 calories, somewhere around there. Just play with it, see how much weight you're actually losing at the end of the week. And now the second point or third point is that you're not actually tracking the calories. So how are you going to know how much you're actually eating? Like, great, we know the foods, we know how much we're supposed to eat, but how are we making sure that day to day, at the end of the week, we actually ate how much we're supposed to eat? That's where tracking comes in. So tracking, there's plenty of apps. I actually just used a Google spreadsheet, had Google Sheets on my phone, and I would just pop the numbers in. I'd use a calculator, I'd just add stuff up and then put the number in at the end of the day. And that way, when you get to the end of the week, you can take the average and look at how much you actually ate. Because one day, of course, you're probably going to eat a little bit more. The next day, you're going to eat a little bit less. But the way to actually make sure you're in that range, eating, say, 2,200 calories, is by looking at the average for the week and going, okay, am I above where I'm supposed to be or am I below? If you're above, probably not going to be losing as much weight as you could be. If you're below, maybe, that's fine too. You're losing more weight. If you're right in there, it's still good. But we want to make sure that our average for the week and for the month is where we want it to be, that we're actually in a deficit. Because day to day, it's pretty difficult to be exactly on the line every single day. Now, it's great if you are, but if you're not, of course, some days you go a little bit over, some days maybe you go a little bit under. As long as the average is where we want to be, we're going to be seeing results. And tracking it makes it so much easier because you have all those metrics. You go, and it keeps yourself accountable. You go, okay, am I actually making progress? And you have those numbers to back it up and say, yes, I know I am making progress because these numbers are consistently going down. Calories is down here, and that's how much I'm eating. And then weight, we see it slowly coming down. So those are the two numbers you're going to track in an app or a spreadsheet. Pop calories here, weight here, date here, and just go down. Now, the second major point about why you're not losing weight is going to be because you're not working out. Working out is going to build active tissue that consumes more energy. It consumes calories. Just having more mass means you're going to need to eat more to maintain it. So by working out, by building muscle, not only when you cut down, you're going to have a much better physique underneath, and you're no longer going to be like skinny fat where you have no muscle but you have a bit of fat. You will build active tissue that is going to use energy. So it allows you to eat more. So work out, make sure you build the muscle underneath. So when you lose the weight, you revealed the physique that you can actually be proud of. Now, the third and final major point when it comes to losing weight, this is the hardest one. All this other stuff, you can kind of just go through the motions and whatnot, but none of these come together if you're not keeping yourself accountable and you're not consistent. Like, sure, you can do this one day and then skip it the next day, but you're not going to see results unless you actually stick to it. So most people lack accountability, and that's why they're not able to stick to it. If you have someone in your corner making sure that every single week, hey, did you go to the gym this week? Hey, what's the number of calories you're at? Are you actually losing the weight? Maybe we can adjust some of those numbers. Having someone like that helps a lot when it comes to seeing results. Now, you can do it on your own, and some people are able to do that. I was able to do it on my own. It's perfectly fine, but for most people, a lot of people, you're not there. You're not doing it on your own. You're not doing it right now. So why are you going to be able to do it without some help? But accountability is the main reason. Staying consistent. And a lot of the times people will get to the end of the week or the end of the day, they're tired and they lose sight of their goal. So when they come, they say, hey, I want to lose weight. I'm so excited. I'm ready to go. And then a little bit later, the next day, a week later, they're like, oh man, I wasn't tracking. I didn't go to the gym this week. Like, you're losing sight of your goal. You're losing the reason why you began, why you started. So if you can't reignite it in yourself, having someone else helps a little bit to help keep you and push you. Because doing all of this stuff is hard. It's going to be hard, it's going to be uncomfortable. But if you don't have the accountability, if you're not sticking to it, none of this matters. None of that matters. You're never going to see results. Um, yeah, those are the main reasons. Calories, making sure we're eating right, we're eating enough, or we're eating below our maintenance, so we're actually losing the weight, and then working out so we build the muscle, and then having accountability and staying consistent so we can apply all of this and actually see the results, because results won't happen after one workout. They won't happen after reducing your calories for one day. It'll happen after weeks and months of being consistent at all of this. And if you lack this, you're never gonna see any of this, you're never gonna do any of this, and you're never gonna get the results, and you're never gonna lose the weight.